Have you ever wondered why the news plays the same 5 stories again and again? Let me give you a little hint. Brainwashing and repetition is the most basic form of brainwashing. Join me as we look at the news cycle and talk about why the mainstream media is so gutless and afraid to report the truth. All right. Good day. Happy Monday. Welcome to Troubled Minds News. I'm your host, Michael Strange, and this is the show where the conspiracy is the news. And of course, what that means is 24-hour news cycles, propaganda, all the BS they're trying to make us believe on a daily basis. Well, that stuff is what we talk about here, but not specifically that. It's just sort of a mix of real, actual news, like when there's some sort of scientific breakthrough or something notable that probably should be talked about that people don't talk about because, well, they're a bunch of political assholes. And that's just the way this goes, right? It's unfortunate that we have a dishonest media that has basically decided that their political well-being is more important than actually giving us good information. And so that's what the show's about. We started the show as part of the other podcast and live radio show that we do called Troubled Minds Radio. And of course, what that means is that we used to have a news segment there. We split it off to do its own show because there's too much news. There's too much heavy lifting to do with the news because there's so many good things to talk about. And there are good things in the news. And I think that's part of the problem here is that, they always say if it bleeds, it leads, things like this. And, if you end up only reporting negative news as sort of like fear porn, the fear mongering type stuff, then you see the problem. You see why we're here in this situation with a bunch of BS news, and it's all politicized and spun, and you get fractured realities. And that's what we're looking at today in this day and age, right? You can't, you go on social media, which again is just awful in most cases. And you go on social media and you can't even say mostly neutral things because you'll get some wacko attack you with some political talking point. It's become insane. It's become literally insane. And the people don't even understand how nuts they are. It's become natural to just go after people for an idea they might have. I mean, just think how absurd that sounds. And right, of course, as we always talk about, it's by design, right? It's totally by design, meaning that if there's a division, and if they get us fighting with each other, then we're not agreeing that they're not doing their job. And, well, you know who I'm talking about, Congress, right? Congress not doing their job, that's who I'm talking about. So if we all agreed on that and put our foot down and demanded things to happen, things would happen. But instead, they get us bickering and complaining and bitching and moaning about things that aren't important. Funny how that works, isn't it? Well, anyway, so that's what this show's about. My name's Michael Strange, and that's what we do. So as you know, as part of the transparency process, because I'm not like those chicken shit kids that type some shit on the internet and then slink off into the basement. No, I'm not that guy. If you think I'm full of shit, I'm right here. Phone number is right here. And I've always got a live line when I'm doing these shows, 702-957-1037, troubledminds.org. You can join the Discord and we can talk. And that's part of the deal here is that if you disagree with something I say, it's okay. I'm a big boy. I'm not, it wouldn't be the first time somebody disagreed with me in my entire life, but I'll tell you what, I'm not going to treat you like a dog or like a second class citizen because you disagree with me. I want to find out why. I want to know why you think it is what you think, and let's have a discussion. That's what this is about. And I've always truly believed that we can get along and disagree and get along at the same time, because it doesn't have to be division stupidity. And yeah, there we go. That's what the show's about. That's what we're doing. And 702-957-1037. Join the Discord, and we'll put you on the show. Simple as that, as we always do. I got my dog here running around trying to bring me things to throw so she can fetch. She's like, hey, look, now throw this thing. Now throw that thing. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how long she can last before she freaks out. But okay, here we go. There she is. I'm bringing something back. She's like, all right, you want to throw this thing? Let's fetch. All right, anyway, let's do this. Let's look at this. All right, let's start here. This is from BBC.com, and this is pretty hot stuff. If you have this, well, if you know people in the United Kingdom, and which we do, we have friends in the UK. If you're into this show, you know that we have a pretty decently sized group of people that listen in the UK to this show, and it's because like Rohan was saying, the mighty Rohan. I don't know if he's out there, but he was saying that in the museums, he was saying this the other night on the Discord. In the museums, all the people from UK, they all go press up against the glass to see a gun inside the case, because they don't know what they're like, so because of the laws there. But anyway, point being, that was a bad joke. I mean, it was a good joke when he said it. Was a worse joke when I said it, because I'm terrible at telling jokes. But okay, so this is the deal, right? So this is from BBC.com. Speaking of England, the England's crop circle controversy, and we've actually had a show about this in the past, and we may actually do a show, maybe time to come back around and do a show on this now again regarding this crop circle stuff, because like many people believe, it's just some folks drinking some beer and sneaking out in the middle of the night and doing some crop circles, and I can buy that. I'm sure that's what's happening here, and the only thing that makes me think it's not necessarily always this case is because there are some there's an institute called the BLT. I can't remember. I know it's BLT because bacon, lettuce, tomato, right? But I can't remember what that stands for. But they are actually a scientific organization that researches crop circles, and apparently they're not all alike. So meaning some crop circles, they have detected anomalous radiation spikes and things like this. So so I think maybe it's time. This is back in the news right now because it seems to be crop circle season in the United Kingdom and or Britain. There you go. Hey there. Speaking of Rohan, what's up, Rohan the original? What's up, buddy? What's up, guys? I see you in the chat. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for being here. So these crop circles, I don't know, right? Like I said, I do not think they're all created the same, at least according to what the scientific people say that have been studying these things for quite some time now. So like I said, sometimes they get radiation anomalies, sometimes they get some of the things they think are not they're not breaking the corn stalks or whatever the hell it is in the field and things like this, right? So I don't know, like we can pull some of that up and maybe do a show on this week. I think that makes a lot of sense because it is back in the news. But so England's crop circles, what do you guys think they are? I guess is probably a good way to start this. But this is a nice long article, right? So I'm not going to read this whole thing. But the thing is, let's see. So here we go. Okay, here we go. Foremost among the hoaxers are they're talking about people who hoax the crop circles, of course. According to locals, these lights and strange objects have been witnessed for centuries, and so this is part of it, right? Is that some people have witnessed, and they'll swear by this, that they've seen these lights come down and float around, sort of orbs or something else, and then they'll come down into the crop itself, and then take off or disappear, and then that's what leaves the crop circles. Like there's some sort of anomalous thing happening here, and so as a result of that, people believe these things are real. It's not all hoaxed. So that's where the conversation comes in, because clearly some are hoaxed, but the question is, are some not? Are there some of these things that are absolutely not hoaxed? So here we go. So foremost among the hoaxers are Doug Bauer and David Chorley, who in 1991 claimed to have created hundreds of circles using ropes to measure the formations and wooden planks to flatten crops. We've all heard that. Ropes and wooden planks. They get it done. They demonstrated this technique for waiting television crews, but not everybody is convinced by their evidence. Some of the formations, quote, some of the formations are so intricate and so big that I can't see two people doing them, said Tim Carson, a farmer in the Wiltshire area of Alton Barnes. Some of them are 300 meters long and they go over the brow of a hill. How would you know the other person's doing the same thing you are? He asks. And so Carson is more the guy asking the questions here. Tim Carson, the farmer, is more qualified than most to comment, having seen hundreds of crop circles appear in his fields, ravaging thousands of pounds worth of crops in the process. It all began in 1990 when a famous formation known as the East Field Pictogram appeared overnight in one of Carson's fields. It caught the attention of the world's press, and a photograph of the crop circle was even used as cover art by Led Zeppelin. Quote, within days we had thousands of people turning up, Carson said. We charged people £1 a time and had key rings and t-shirts made. It became probably our most profitable quarter of an acre ever. You see, so there is a profit motive here. Interesting. To some, this supports the theory that crop circles are nothing more than a money-making enterprise between the hoaxers, farmers, and photographers. The process was explained to me as follows by circle maker Dean Hine. I don't know if I said that appropriately, but that's how it's spelled, and that's how us Yanks say it. Circle makers, well, at least how this Yank says it. Circle makers make a formation. Drone pilot flies the formation. Then they use social media platforms to spam all the pages with videos. Each video can make 500 pounds from YouTube alone. So, all right. So they say there is a gimmick here. There's a scam to this, and it's media attention, it's money, it's all the rest of this stuff. I don't know. I think maybe it may be time we haven't done. The good thing about doing this show for 3+ years now, going on, what are we going to be? Let's see, April. At the end of the year, we'll be 3.5 years. So we're, like I said, I'm very proud of that. That's why I bring it up often. And the thing is this. We've talked about crop circles way back when Frank was on the show. If you guys remember Frank, somebody keeps popping up in the comments, by the way, and mentioning Frank, and so I'm suspicious who that might be, if you know what I'm saying. But maybe not. Maybe just a diehard Frank fan for all I know. But anyway, we did a crop show circle way back, and I think that maybe it's time again. Maybe we'll do a crop show circle this week, because some of this stuff, like I said, is not obvious. It's not obvious that clearly there's going to be some hoaxes, but there are some things that people say that they've seen. Like I said, the orbs kind of flying into these places. They say they see light beams. There's all kinds of things, right? So we'll see. Maybe that's what we'll do, a show on this tonight or tomorrow or the next day or whatever. So the thing is, what do you believe regarding crop circles? I think that's the thing here is, do you believe these things are all hoaxes, or do you think that there's some reality to some of this stuff? Because apparently, if you listen to tradition, folklore, and that sort of thing, you will see that these things have been going on for some time. It's not just a modern phenomenon where they're hoaxing on social media. So you tell me. And the thing, too, is about this in particular, that this part of England, which is this part, let's see, it is southwest England is the unlikely world capital of crop circles. So it seems to happen mostly in this particular spot with all of these differing things. So I don't know. Like I said, it's good to maybe circle back and talk about some of this stuff as we continue, because we haven't done a crop circle show in literally years. I mean, think about that. That's pretty hot to not be circling back on yourself after all that time. Let's see, what is this? I have a message. Oh, nice. It's a spam message. I went straight to voicemail. A-holes. All right. I do not need a new car warranty. No, thank you. Okay, let's see. Okay, all right, here we go. Now, let's continue trucking. Now, okay, and here's the thing, too. I'm not going to call anybody out on this, but we do have people that listen to this show that live in the UK that know folks who hoax these things. So I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm not going to call anybody out here, but I'm not going to make it uncomfortable, if you know what I mean. But we've had people in the Discord and things like this actually actually say things about hoaxing crop circles. So there you go. All right. So anyway, we'll continue trucking and maybe talk about this tonight. Like I said, I haven't decided quite yet, but it is back in the news, and it is crop circle season. So why the hell not? So there may be a primer for tonight, unless I change my mind, which I always have. I always have the ability to change my damn mind. All right. This is America, after all. I tell you what. All right. Let's continue trucking. Space.com reports this. Fastest orbiting asteroid in solar system discovered. Yeah. All right. Well, we got time-wise. I think we're good. Yep. It takes asteroid 2021 PH27. That's the name of this asteroid. Just 113 days to complete a lap around the sun. So the space rock completes a lap around our star every 113 days. Its discoverer is determined. That's the shortest orbital period of any known solar system object except the planet Mercury, which takes just 88 days to loop around the sun. However, this particular asteroid, 2021 PH27, travels on a much more elliptical path than Mercury does, and therefore gets considerably closer to the sun, about 12.4 million miles at closest approach. That would be 20 million kilometers, compared to 29 million miles or 47 million kilometers for the solar system's innermost planet, which of course is Mercury. During these close solar passes, the surface of this asteroid gets hot enough to melt lead, about 900 degrees Fahrenheit, and the Discovery team estimates. These deep dips in the sun's gravity wells also mean the asteroid experiences the largest general relativity effects of any known solar system object. Such effects manifest as a slight wobble in the elliptical orbit around the sun, which the team has observed. Now, this is, let's see, interesting. Where was it? I think I have to refresh this. Let's refresh the page. There's a nice little depiction of this thing orbiting. Where did it go? I guess maybe it stopped. I saw it when I first pulled this article up. But anyway, it had an example of this thing orbiting, meaning that if you saw this elliptical orbit, you might be alarmed because everything else is kind of crossing. All the planets are circling the sun in basically like a round orbit, a circular orbit. It's not elliptical at all. However, this one in particular is very elliptical, and so if you saw the artist representation of this, there it is. All right, let's there we go. So check this out. As it swings around, as it's like you see the planets. There's Venus and there's Mercury and there's Earth, and this thing looks like it. It freaks me out. Like it's eventually going to hit one of these planets, right? I mean, right there it did. Right. I mean, if this thing is flat, like on a kind of a flat plane on its orbit, but you see what I mean? It freaks me out a little bit. That's coming awfully close to Venus and Mercury and stuff. This thing, it's the slingshots around the whole deal, but it doesn't look like it comes close enough to hit Earth, so that's the good news. But they say that eventually this thing will get swallowed up by the sun, or will actually hit Mercury or Venus, which should be hot, right? And that should be hot for looking at the some sort of a telescopic sort of situation. But yeah, anyway, so that's what I mean. So if you look at that, you don't get creeped out like, oh shit, it's gonna hit it. Like I don't know what to tell you, because it looks like it's gonna hit it. But yeah, anyway, interesting. They found it only 113 days to orbit the sun, and there you go. As always, you can check my sources, and that's what's up. What's going on, guys? I see you there in the chat. Thanks for showing up. Let's continue, shall we? Actually, let's take a quick break, and this is a word from our sponsors.
Are you digging the show? If so, you can support us quite easily and at no additional cost to you if you already have an Amazon Prime account. Since we stream on Twitch every day, all you have to do is link your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account, and they give you free games on a monthly basis for your personal use, and also a bonus $5 a month to send to your favorite streamer as a way to bring more people to Twitch. And all you have to do is sync up to 2 accounts and click subscribe. Thanks for considering us.
All right, let's continue, shall we? It seems like we have another day. That's right, another day, and Another hack. Another huge hack. What's going on, guys? This is the Sun.com, the U.S. version of the Sun, which the Sun is, pretty much LOL as a tabloid, but, the U.S. version is slightly less LOL because, well, they tell you they're slightly less LOL. But anyway, this is from today, of course. Hack attack. Massive Microsoft data breach exposes 38 million records, including social security numbers and vaccination data. Oh boy, vaccination data. Okay, all right, here we go. Pretty soon, right, there's going to be no secrets in this world because guess what? They're all being hacked, your medical records and everything else, and yeah, that's what's going on with this. It does give me a little bit of anxiety, just like, well, that asteroid that may hit Mercury, a little bit of anxiety there, but it's only barely anxiety. But anyway, American Airlines, Ford, J.B. Hunt, and the Maryland Department of Health, the New York City Municipal Transportation Authority, and New York City Public Schools were among the companies and organizations affected by the mistake. Yeah, the personal records of 38 million people were accidentally leaked on the open internet due to a flaw in more than 1,000 Microsoft web apps. Oops. The data mistakenly shared online included information from a number of COVID-19 contact tracing platforms. Remember how we talked about contact tracing, guys? Yeah, that's right. Contact tracing. You know what it actually means? They want to know where you're at 24 hours a day. That's how they contact trace. And they're like, oh, by the way, this isn't another mass surveillance. We're just trying to keep you from getting sick. Oh, interesting. So then now this information has been leaked. Cool, right? Cool. That's totally fine that, somebody could get information on your exact whereabouts. People are creatures of habit. We lock into patterns. We have schedules. We have work we have to go to. We come back at a particular time, right? How could this go wrong? Now knowing that you can a quick download will give me your home address and tell me when you're not going to be there. How could that go wrong, right? Yeah. Anyway, this is the type of stuff that's really the more data they pluck from us, the more vulnerable they're making us as just in general principle here, to exploits, to scams, to people breaking into our house when we're not there, stuff like that. It's not okay. This is not okay. But again, this is the world we live in. As they continue, the technocrats continue to literally track every single step we make, every single thought we take. Yeah, what's a police song? Yeah, I'll be watching you, right? Yeah, they'll be watching us. And then, of course, tabulating the data and then leaking it or getting it hacked. And yeah, that's what's up. So the data exposures have now been addressed. Wired reports, so they fixed it. Oh, but, well, so they say they fixed it. Now, the information had all been stored in Microsoft's Power Apps portal service. The portal is a development platform in which web or mobile apps can be created for external use. It can be used to create a public-facing site for services like vaccine sign-up, and also create a database of the information for internal use. However, researchers from security firm UpGuard found that in some cases, the back-end database was public and available to view to anyone who could find it. Neat, right? Yeah, that's cool. Yep, so in May, it began investigating, blah, 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 blah. There you go. Another day. Another breach. And in this case, it wasn't a hack. It was just sloppy security. And that's what I'm saying, right? So if they're going to, there needs to be some repercussions for this stuff, right? If they're going to collect our data as much as they do and store it, then if they do something grotesquely stupid like this, then where's the huge fine? Where's the smackdowns? Where's the, right? Like, they're not going to address this stuff and take it seriously until they get super huge smackdowns. So where are they? That's what I want to know. That's what I want to know. All right, let's continue, shall we? This is another one. This is let's file this one under how could this go wrong? This is an individual by the name of, what's this guy's name? Liquor CEO, age 46, plummeted to his death while attempting backflip on balcony at Citi Field during Grateful Dead tribute band concert. How could this go wrong? That's how it could go wrong. Yeah, New York police have identified the Brooklyn resident who fell to his death while attempting a backflip on a balcony. A backflip on a balcony. That needs to be a t-shirt, right? Backflip on a balcony. How could that go wrong? And of course, he was a CEO and co-founder of the liquor company that created Monkey Rum. Monkey Rum sounds delicious. However, well, let's see how many booty pictures on the right. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it's all nothing. But this is the Daily Mail, so all you get is like the pictures of women in bikinis on the right side here. Anyway, like I said, I always point that out because it's in your face. Get it off the damn page. But anyway, so here we go. Ian Crystal, 46, died after falling about 30 to 50 feet and landing on concrete during intermission at a Dead & Company concert. Police sources said he was possibly under the influence when he attempted the fatal flip on the 5th floor. Do you really think so? Do you think he was possibly under the influence of something? Yeah, it's tragic. It's terrible. It's don't do backflips on a balcony, guys. Come on. All right. Anyway, and this is, I don't know. It's sad. It's sad. People get popped up on whatever and do stupid things, and here we go. All right, so let's continue. This is from Yahoo News, and Yahoo News is so great that let's see what's going on here. As you know, as you were aware, lots of the Hawaiian Islands in particular were created by volcanic activity, as were many land masses in the world here. But this is pretty cool. Eruption of underwater volcano creates new island off Japan coast, and there you go. We have this little photograph of the little volcano that's creating this new island, and sweet, right? Maybe China can take this one over too, because, well, why not? It's sort of out that way, maybe. But anyway, composed of thousands of islands, Japan has now added more to its makeup after the recent eruption of a submarine volcano. The new landmass was detected by the Japan Coast Guard, slow down, Mike, 2 days after its August 13 formation. The island, a result of the eruption from the undersea Fukuotoku Okanaba volcano, see, my Japanese is spectacular, is located about 1,200 miles south of Tokyo near Iwo Jima. The newly minted island is quite small in size at just 1 kilometer in diameter, but officials think the eruption is still ongoing. Japan's meteorological agency issued smoke and ash warnings for the area while it keeps an eye on the volcanic activity. As a result of the blast, the Coast Guard reported seeing plumes of steam and gas extending more than 15 kilometers into the sky. As well, it saw parts of pumice created by the eruption floating across a 60-kilometer wide area of the ocean. The Coast Guard eventually discovered the crescent shape of the new island. And there you go. There's a photograph there. Pretty cool. Anybody want to build a house? Anybody want to set something up? Yeah, here you go. There you go. Rohan's got it right. That's awesome. Japan needs more land big time. Well, there you go. Every day it's creating some more. So good stuff. All right, let's keep on trucking, shall we? This is from phys.org. Where we at time-wise? Make sure we're good. Yeah, everything looks fine. We're all fine here now. How are you? All right. Martian, this is from phys.org. Headline is this. This is from today. Martian snow is dusty. Could potentially melt. New study shows. Anybody like the new background? What do you think? I think it makes me look smart having all the equations and shit floating around behind me. What do you think? All right. Anyway. Over the last 2 decades, scientists have found ice in many locations on Mars. Most Martian ice has been observed from orbital satellites like NASA's Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter. But determining the grain size and dust content of the ice that far above the surface is challenging. And those aspects of the ice are crucial in helping scientists determine how old the ice is and how it was deposited. So planetary scientists Aditya Kuller and Philip Christensen of Arizona State University, with Stephen Warren, an Earth, ice, and snow expert from the University of Washington, developed a new approach to determine how dusty Mars ice really is. Is it full of dust? That's the question here. And if so, what does that mean? Dun, dun, dun. The plot thickens. Are there critters melted into the ice? Who knows? So planetary scientists, we read that by combining data from NASA's Phoenix Mars lander and the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter with computer simulations used to predict snow and glacier ice brightness on Earth, they were able to successfully match the brightness of Martian ice and determine its dust content. The results have recently been published in the AGU's Journal of Geophysical Research on the Planets. And here we go. Mars is a dusty planet, so much of its ice is also dusty and much darker than fresh much snow we might see on Earth. The dustier the ice, the darker and thus warmer the ice gets, which can affect both its stability and evolution through time. Under certain conditions, this might also mean that the ice could melt on Mars. Quote, there is a chance that this dusty and dark ice might melt a few centimeters down, Culler said, and any subsurface liquid water produced from melting will be protected from evaporating in Mars's wispy, see, when you try to say wispy atmosphere and you say atmosphere, no, wispy atmosphere by the overlying blanket of ice. Based on their simulations, they predict that the ice dug up by the Phoenix Mars lander formed by dusty snowfall sometime over the last million years, similar to other ice deposits found previously across the mid-latitudes of Mars. Anyway, interesting stuff. I didn't realize there was actually, dust in the snow. Dust in the well, did we know there was snow on Mars? I mean, I guess sort of, but right in the poles for sure. But how much more than that? Who knows? Who knows? What's up, Bill? Thanks for showing up. The background animation looks really cool. Thank you. Appreciate that. All right, so Martian snow is it is. It could be potentially dusty, and who knows? I don't know what's going on here, other than they're telling us this is the case. So who am I to question these super smart scientists? You know, wink, wink. Even though I kind of do it all the time. But what else? I have the background of the equations backing me up now. Even though I don't know what any of that shit means, but it sure makes me look smart. All right, here we go. SciTech Daily. This is pretty cool. Anybody heard of Machu Picchu? Ever heard of this? Yeah. Well, now you have. If you haven't previously, check this out. Historical timeline is inaccurate, it reads the headline. Advanced radiocarbon dating reveals Machu Picchu is older than expected. Is that Machu? No, it's Machu Picchu. All right, so Machu Picchu, the famous 15th century Inca site in southern Peru, is up to several decades older than previously thought, according to a new study led by Yale archaeologist Richard Berger. Berger and researchers from several U.S. institutions used accelerator mass spectrometry, yes, AMS, an advanced form of radiocarbon dating to date human remains recovered during the early 20th century at the monumental complex and one-time country estate of Inca Emperor Pachacuti, I think that's how you say it, located on the eastern face of the Andes Mountains. And if you guys remember, before this was actually discovered again in the early 19th century, I believe, or the early 20th century even, this was supposed to be a myth. Machu Picchu was supposed to be the fabled city in the mountains that nobody ever, they thought it was just stories until it was discovered again. And then when it was discovered, they were like, wow, all right, so maybe there is something to these myths and these legends. As we always discuss, right? You never know. Like El Dorado, right? The city of gold. There's still people looking for that too, because it is a legend. There are old native traditions that suggest that it does exist, the city of gold. And so, well, just because it's an old native tradition or because it's a myth or a fable or these things or others, well, Machu Picchu is a perfect example of, well, you know what? Sometimes these myths do come true. And yeah, pretty good stuff. So I do like that they keep finding that many of these things are just older and older and older and older. You notice that? There's always some sort of evidence where like, oh, oops, we misdated this by 30 or 50 or 100 years. And sometimes it's 1,000 years. So yeah, going back years and years and years on some of this stuff. And it makes me excited because, well, who knows? Like when you start dating things like Pumu Punku, and Pumu Punku is what it's called, I believe. And then also, what's the other one? Like Jimmy Church says, Go Beckley, Teppy. Right, he gets all crazy about that. I don't know why he gets all crazy about that, but hey, that's Jimmy Church for you. Okay, so anyway, this is pretty good stuff. So they're going to keep dating this stuff as they keep doing the research. Has anybody out there been to Machu Picchu? I do. I do know somebody that somebody I know knows somebody that went, but I've never been there because, well, they'd probably arrest me at the border because I'm probably labeled as an international terrorist at this point. But well, not because I've done anything wrong, just because I, speak words on the internet. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's where we're at these days. All right, where are we at? Let's see. Time-wise, we're good. 3. Yeah, all right. Let's take a quick break. We are going to take a fast break, and we'll be right back. You're listening to Troubled Minds News, and I'm Michael Strange. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back. All right, welcome back to Troubled Minds News. Let's keep on trucking, shall we? Let's go to this. This is Mind Body Green, and this is another good one too. Maybe we got a couple shows that we can line up. Maybe crop circles, and maybe this, because you guys love to talk about dreams. I tell you what, that's one of the most interesting ones where people call in. It's super high engagement is dreams. So I think talking about this type of thing, dreams in a radio show, you can kind of never go wrong. So here we go. This is from Mind Body Green, and here's an interesting take on this. Ever had a dream that predicted the future? Here's a neuroscientist approved explanation. Oh, well, that's good. Science is here to save the day, guys. Hey dog, don't do it. Hey, get out of there. All right, have you ever had a dream that turned out to foreshadow the future? You wouldn't be alone. Call it divination or call it the power of the brain, but many people have experienced déjà vu. Is that what it's called? The feeling of dreaming something before it happened at one point or another. So my Japanese is far better than my French. According to neuroscientist and author The Oracle of the Night, The History and Science of Dreams, Siddhartha Ribeiro, PhD, there could actually be some science behind this experience. Here's what they had to say when we asked them about this strange dream phenomenon. Let's see. Based on his research on his dreams, Ribeiro thinks there is a very real chance they have a predictive function, but not in the way you might think. It's not a deterministic oracle that can predict what's going to happen, he suggests, but rather it's a very sophisticated, probabilistic neurobiological machine that's based on what happened in the past and simulates possible futures. Where's the cue the X-Files theme, right? In other words, our dreams are constantly putting out potential scenarios for what the future could look like based on what our brains know of the past. And think of it like this. We know that dreams and sleep in general play a role in consolidating memories. In doing so, they help us learn and prepare for the future and are a source of new ideas and creativity, Ribeiro tells MBG, which is Mind Body Green, the website. On top of the neurological processes at play, you have the dream level that's symbolic and related to your life in a predictive manner, meaning that some of it may eventually prove true to your experience. Anyway, what do you think? Is this a worthy topic for a show this week? I think we got a couple then, don't we? We got maybe this, we got maybe the crop circles, we got all kinds of stuff. It's crop circle season, and there you go. So who knows? Regarding this, do you think? I guess that's how we would do Troubled Minds. We delve into this a little deeper about premonitions and dreams, and kind of pressed from there. But do you think it's all science, as this guy suggests, that our brain is just constantly sort of doing like the Doctor Strange, if you guys remember from the Marvel universe, where he was in the cinematic universe, where he was constructing the future, right? One future at a time, and they only had one chance to succeed against Thanos. Remember that? Doctor Strange was actually in like this meditative state and checking out millions of future outcomes based on events. Is that what our brain's actually doing? Weird. Yeah. All right. Anyway, where are we at? My dog's freaking out again. Hey. All right, we're fine. I usually put her in a kennel, but she's been good, so she's roaming free, and that's probably dangerous because she's going to go find a carpet and chew on it when I'm not watching, because she's a puppy after all. But okay, anyway, what's going on, guys? Okay, so I don't know. So what do you think? The neuroscientist approved explanation. Do you think this is what's really happening, or do you think something else entirely? So there we go. That may be a show this week, because why the hell not? Premonitions and dreams sounds good to me. Hey, get out of there. All right, so this is the deal. We're going to talk about this now. Independent.co.uk reports this. I'm not related to Doctor Strange, unfortunately, though I have to admit the name Strange was actually influenced by that movie because it was fantastic. Ex-CIA chief quips good idea to suggestion to send unvaccinated to Afghanistan. Well, what a nice thing to say. Good deal that our CIA people, well, at least this asshole in general, is, Anyway, ex-CIA Chief General Michael Hayden quipped that it would be a good idea to send unvaccinated Trump supporters to Afghanistan. Yes, in response to a tweet about Afghans fleeing the country on a U.S. military jet, a Twitter user asked, quote, "Can we send the MAGA-wearing unvaxxed to Afghanistan? No use sending that plane back empty." Good idea, General Hayden replied. Yeah, and these are the dumb things that go down on Twitter, right? These are the dumb things. This is just incredibly stupid. If you guys follow the drama, there's drama out there every single day. People saying stupid things on social media all the time. And then they bitch and complain when they get canceled. Well, you know what? Don't say stupid things on social media. Right? That's a nice, good rule for the ages, right? General Hayden, who headed the CIA from 2006 to 2009, during the final years of the presidency of George W. Bush, was quickly bashed for his comment. Oh, no shit. No shit. Republican Indiana Representative Jim Banks wrote that it was sad and unbecoming even from you, Mike. The general retweeted another user who said, "Mr. Banks, General Hayden doesn't need to hear from you." Yeah. Anyway, this is just stupid. This is people acting like idiots, and well, welcome to the world, right? Welcome to the world. People acting like idiots and then doing it on social media for the world to see. It's best sometimes to just keep your damn mouth shut and stay away from Twitter. And I'm going to give you some unsolicited advice, Mr. What's this guy's name? Mr. Michael Hayden. Stay the hell away from social media because you're just a moron. Yeah. All right. So let's keep on trucking. Oh, by the way, this is live. If you guys have comments on this or anything else, or you just want to have a chat or say hi, show feedback, whatever it is, we're not in the business of turning calls down because, well, it's important to hear what you think. So if you want to be part of the show, 702-957-1037. That's 702-957-1037. You can also join the Discord at troubledminds.org. That's the official website. Phone number's on top of the website. Can't miss it, as well as the Discord link. It's right there on top. You can't miss that. There we go. Let's see. Okay. All right. Let's keep on trucking. Let's do it. Where are we at time-wise? Make sure everything's good. I think everything's good. Yep. Perfect. All right, here we go. Now, this is the thing. Let's go to live science. By the way, did I mention, guys, we're on Rockfin now? Anybody, we had I know there's some folks here that were in Rockfin with us on last night. We had our first Rockfin stream. How'd you guys dig that? How about feedback on that? Everybody digging that? Or it seemed positive at the time, but, well, it's an extra show, so it's hard to complain there, right? But what do you think? What do you think? The individual that left the comment that started that conversation last night, he reached out again today. He said he saw the thing, and he was honored that I would use his comment to start a conversation like that. So good stuff. Like I said, this is more of an our show, not less of a my show type of thing. Like I'm here, try and be on time and maybe start a good conversation. But as you all know, all the smart people that call in and contribute to this is really what makes this show go around. So more of a crowdsource, like I always say, more of a way to get the actual what do you call it? The wisdom of the crowd. Sort of a way to bring that into what's going on with just the world around us, right? Because like I said, I take you guys over any expert any day because the great stuff that you guys know is it's incredible. And when we share that information, that's how we all get smarter together, right? There you go. What's up, Robert? Thanks again for Robert. There we go. Quinn67 was the first donator. Thank you for tipping on Rockfin, and also was he the first comment and he was the first everything. He sent the email to get the ball rolling to get us on Rockfin. So thank you. I appreciate that, guys. But okay, let's go. Didn't download the app, making money on it. Not yet, but I did get some tips from Robert here and also Fred, longtime listeners to the show. So that's the good part, right? It's monetized at least, so that if if somebody does want to send like a couple buck tip or something, it's right there. It's all set up to do that and take that. And here's the crazy part, which you guys probably don't know about Rockfin, is it pays out in crypto. So when you guys are doing that, if you send a tip or whatever, it'll pay out to a crypto wallet to me. So that's the funny part. So I was like, wow, all right, we're doing this in crypto. That's pretty sweet. So anyway, that's there you go. That's some stuff you may not know. But anyway, so let's like I said, looking for feedback on that. And as I said, if we consolidate this and do it right, I would would love to be able to just move the entire audience over to Rockfin exclusively, the podcast feed and Fringe, and that's it. That would be it, and that's for a good reason. So, yeah, what, no money for Rockfin? What do you mean? No. Anyway, never mind. It's not like that. You're not buying crypto. Anyway, whatever. Okay, here we go. LiveScience.com. Mystery object in space could be a new arm of the Milky Way. Let's go here and talk about this. There you go. All right. So, this is scientists spot giant feature at edge of the galaxy. My dog's jumping on my legs. Hey. Go chew on your bone. Get out of here. Beat it, dog. We'll come play fetch in a little bit. All right, astronomers have discovered an enormous new filament of gas and dust hanging at the outer edge of our galaxy. Nicknamed Cattail, the feature is not yet fully mapped, and the team who found it believe it could be a previously unknown arm of the Milky Way galaxy. Now, how the hell do we have an unknown arm of the Milky Way galaxy, guys? Anyway, the Milky Way is a giant spiral galaxy, which has a central bulge surrounded by coiling arms containing stars, gas, and dust. Our home galaxy has 4 known spiral arms, 2 major arms named Scutum... wait, okay, I need Microsoft Mike's help, because these are some really big words, you know what I'm saying? Here we go. Let's hear what this is all about from a professional AI robot.
2 major arms named Scutum Centaurus and Perseus, and 2 minor arms squished between them named Norma and Sagittarius.
All right, Scutum Centaurus. I guess there we go. And Perseus, I know that one. And 2 minor arms squished between them named Norma and Sagittarius, according to NASA. Earth is on a branch of the Sagittarius arm named the Orion Spur. Over the last few years, researchers at the world's largest radio telescope, the 500-meter Aperture Spherical Radio Telescope, FAST, in Guizhou Province, China, have been doing systematic studies of a sky region known as Cygnus X, keeping QIU, an astronomer at Nanjing University, told Live Science. FAST sees the universe through the radio portion of the electromagnetic spectrum, and so is particularly useful for looking at cold gas clouds containing hydrogen. While observing Cygnus X, which is an enormous star-forming region located around 4,500 light-years away, Q and his colleagues noticed clouds of hydrogen gas that seem to be far... Sorry about that. Had to go blow my nose here. It's getting all. Anyway, I'm not going to bore you with gross details. All right. Let's continue, shall we? Let's keep on trucking. All right. So, the team estimated the cattail contains as much as 65,000 suns, and its true extent might even be larger, perhaps as long as 16,000 light years across. Anyway, pretty cool stuff that they're still finding. Things that we thought we knew about the Milky Way and things like this. It's like, oh, by the way, there's an extra spiral arm hanging out about, and that's pretty good stuff. Quint's got it right. He says, so those $2 tips are worth more today than yesterday. And that could very well be the case. So that's the interesting part about that. That's why I brought it up. So, yeah. And yes, by the way, Bitcoin, yes, is nearing 50K again, right? So if you remember, it dropped all the way down to 31 or 29, somewhere in that range, and it was like gloom and doom. Everybody's like, oh, sell. What did Michael Strange do? Buy. And so now Bitcoin's back up, and I'm like, yeah, I'm a genius. Not really. And I didn't put too much money into it because I'm not stupid, but it is a profit. It's a profit, right? And there you go. That's the way it works. There you go. Not a big crypto fan. There you go. All right, that's cool. You don't have to be. All right. Anyway, so let's get one more word from our sponsor. If you want to support the show, there are new ways to support the show. So if you're interested in supporting the show, don't do it on Patreon because we're probably going to shut that down as soon as we can move people from there over to Rockfin, which is the way to go here. Because basically, it's part of the reason why they're growing so fast is they're beating Patreon in fees. So Patreon will take like 15 or 20% of every dollar that goes in type stuff. Twitch is worse. Twitch takes like half, I think, or like 40% or something ridiculous. Like Twitch takes a lot, and this is part of the problem, right? If you're like Michael Strange, I really love the show. Here's $5, right? I get like $2.50. You see, like this is the problem with a lot of this stuff is that they're just robbing money, and fine, I get it, transaction fees and that, but that should be like 35 cents, not like 50 freaking percent. But anyway, so point being, if you want to support the show, here's one more way, and let's another word from our sponsor, and we'll keep on rolling here. Oops, that's the wrong button.
Are you digging the show? If so, you can support us quite easily and at no additional cost to you if you already have an Amazon Prime account. Since we stream on Twitch every day, all you have to do is link your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account, and they give you free games on a monthly basis for your personal use, and also a bonus $5 a month to send to your favorite streamer as a way to bring more people to Twitch. And all you have to do is sync up the two accounts and click subscribe. Thanks for considering us.
Okay, all right, let's continue, shall we? Let's keep on trucking. Where were we? How about we were right here, Arms of the Milky Way. Let's go to this. Uh-oh. All right, more hacks. This is the way. Cash is still good, man. Cash always plays until cash isn't worth anything. What did George Bush say about the Haiti thing? He's all, don't send blankets, just send your cash. There you go. That's what the government thinks about your blankets. Anyway, Google issues warning. This is from Forbes.com. Google issues warning for 2 billion Chrome users. Yeah, and this is not good. This is not a good thing. Google Chrome has over 2 billion users worldwide and dominates the web browser market. But this also makes it the prime target of hackers, and now Google has issued its 4th urgent upgrade warning in 2 months. What in the world? Yeah. In an official blog post, Google has revealed 7 high-rated security threats that have been discovered in Chrome, with the vulnerabilities impacting Chrome users on all major operating systems: Windows, Mac OS, and Linux. Guess who doesn't use Chrome? Me. Raise your hand. Google is currently, I used to, right? Chrome used to be the thing, and then now it's just bloated spyware like all the rest of it, right? Anyway, so Google is currently giving little away about the flaws. This is standard practice as the company attempts to limit information to stop the spread of these vulnerabilities to hackers and buy time for users to protect themselves. Consequently, this is all Chrome users have to go on right now. So they've got the high threats, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of these. And yeah, well, there it is. There it is. Like I said, we are getting nailed left and right, up and down, sideways, and everything in between, collecting our data, spilling it, letting it leak, getting hacked. Well, there you go. This is how these things happen. And like I said, until they get smacked down and start to take this stuff super seriously, you know, they could be more careful. They could lock this stuff down. And you know, clearly, I don't think anything's unhackable. I always say if you can build it, you can hack it. But this is a little bit silly that now it's Microsoft leaving like a database open to the public. It's, you know, Google and Chrome just being crazy hackable, and well, like I said, here we are. So anyway, that's what's going on with this. And boo, 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 Google, boo. Get better, do better, do no evil, like you used to say. But well, yeah. There you go. Rohan says, nothing Google for me, and I don't blame you. I absolutely do not blame you. Where we at time-wise? We're good. Okay, everything's fine. Everything's fine. All right, here we go. Let's do this. This is from SciTech Daily, and here we go. Here we go. All right. This is this. The incredible secret science of ants' underground cities. How ants build amazingly complex and stable structures. And if you see the guy standing there next to a model of the ants and what they build, actually, let's go full screen so you can fully appreciate what this is. Yeah, what in the world, right? That's clearly they don't need an engineering degree to do that, right? Well, yeah. Picture an anthill. What do you see? A small mound of sand and crumbly dirt poking up through the lawn. A tiny hole disappearing into the ground, a few ants scrambling around busily. Not very impressive, right? But slip beneath the surface and the above-ground simplicity gives way to subterranean complexity. Tunnels dive downward, branching and leading to specified chambers that serve as home for the colony's queen, as nurseries for its young, as farms for fungus cultivated for food, and as dumps for its trash. These are not just burrows, they are underground cities, some of them home to millions of individuals, reaching as far as 25 feet underground, often lasting for decades. The kind of construction that would be an impressive undertaking for most creatures, but when performed by animals that don't get much bigger than your fingernail, it is especially remarkable. Yeah, that's pretty hot, right? That looks great. And, like I said, do you think they need an engineering degree to do that? I'm going to say no. I'm going to say no. There's probably not like a academic wing of the ant colony, let's say. Anyway, let's continue. Let's go back to the Daily Mail, which of course has the best booty pictures on the internet. But here we go. This is from Daily Mail today. unnecessary, unjustified, and certainly not an exoneration. Ashley Babbitt's family lawyer lashes out at Capitol Police for a secret investigation that cleared cop who killed her and demands he is publicly named. Now, interesting that this is back to that January 6th stuff, right? So if you remember, it's an insurrection and all this other things, and the things they're trying to tell us this was, right? It's the lousiest insurrection ever. Nobody armed, or they say, oh, but they had canes and they picked up a chandelier. So clearly they were armed, right? Again, like they're trying to make a narrative around this that is not. And so notably, the only person at January 6th, that whole thing at the Capitol, the only person that killed another person, the only one, there was one and only one. It was a cop that killed Ashley Babbitt. That's it. You know what the other people died of? I think there was another 4. All natural causes, strokes or heart attacks. That's it. That is it. So when they say, oh, they killed cops, like Science Bob on Twitter, no, bro. Nobody killed any cops. The only killing was done by a cop, a DC cop here that shot Ashley Babbitt. That's it. And they're protecting him. They're saying he's exonerated and it was a justified killing and the rest of this, right? And this is the type of stuff where you're like, come on now. Like, really? So if it was justified that once, how come they didn't mow down the entire hallway full of people? Because she was in a hallway, right? Full of people. It seems like the guy had an itchy trigger finger. He freaked out, right? And he took a shot when he probably shouldn't have, and somebody died, and that's horrific. That's not what the cops are supposed to do, right? And again, I'm on the side of cops most times, meaning that no argument is like a blanket this or that, all right? So don't get me wrong there, but I'm saying that cops have an incredibly horrific job, to do. Imagine dealing with just people that are like spitting in your face all the time, and it's a really, really bad profession to be in, and it's extremely difficult because you're expected to do so many things, right? You're supposed to be kind of like the benevolent protector, right? But then your life is on the line too, so you're constantly in an agitated state, like somebody's coming after you, because probably somebody is. And then on top of that, you have to also not be protector. You also have to be like a social worker, right? You have to be able to deal with people with drug problems, people with schizophrenia, people with mental health disorders, all this other stuff, right? Like I said, it's an incredibly difficult job. And for people to jump all over cops as a default, I don't take that stance. Like I said, I just say let's give the cops a fair shake when looking at these things and look at each case individually, right? But in this, right, here we go. So the only person that was actually killed by another person on this whole January 6th thing was a cop shooting Ashley Babbitt. And that's it. Like I said, go look it up. It was all natural causes. All horrific, all terrible. It sucks that people die at all, ever. But this is what happened. This is the reality thing. So when people tell you, oh, they killed the cops, nobody killed the cops. Nobody killed the cops. Sorry. All right, anyway, just throwing this out, and here we go. We got, this is labroots.com. This is from Robert, actually sent this. This is from August 19th, 2021. A Wright brothers moment for nuclear fusion. Oh, yeah. And you guys know what fusion is, right? It's creating the artificial sun. When you get fusion, a fusion reactor of sorts would be a self-perpetuating sort of sun-like thing that is pumping out energy and continues burning its own fuel source in perpetuity, I guess. But anyway, let's read some of this. Nuclear fusion is a process by which two atomic nuclei are fused together, resulting in a massive amount of excess energy. The newly fused atom has less mass than the sum of the originally distinct atoms. This loss in mass is converted to energy according to the famous equation E equals mc squared. Fusion is the counterpart to nuclear fission, the process of splitting an atom. While nuclear fission is what powers the nuclear power plants of the day, nuclear fusion is a supposed energy source of the future, as it has the potential to generate much more energy with no threat of meltdown or radioactive waste. Fusion is also what powers our sun, so most of the energy on Earth already comes from fusion in a way. There we go. Let's see. So the recent development of the fusion research is from August 8th, an experiment which researchers were able to yield a significant 1.3 megajoules of energy from a fusion reaction. Fusion reactions have been achieved in the past, generally through some attempt at mimicking conditions that would be found in a star like our sun. That means extremely high temperatures and pressure levels. However, man-made fusion reactions have never produced enough energy to sustain themselves. That's the trick. And once they sustain, you can have these mini suns, which interestingly, they said that China is close to achieving 1.21 gigawatts, guys. I don't know. However, man-made fusion reactions have never produced the energy to sustain themselves, let alone produce enough energy to meaningfully contribute to a power grid. So this guy's saying in a statement to CNBC, Omar A. Hurricane, really? All right, cool. Chief scientist for the Inertial Confinement Fusion Program at LLNL, even went as far as saying that this is a Wright brothers moment, continuing that it's not practical, but we got off the ground for a moment. The emphasis is on moment, seeing how the experiment was able to generate more than 10 quadrillion watts of fusion power, but only for 100 trillionths of a second. Oops, we're going to need to do better than that. But in any case, they said they were able to make it happen, and so now the next step, of course, is making it happen for longer. So let's see. Pretty good stuff. Thanks again. If you guys want some things to be on our actual this show, you're welcome to join the Discord and just share the articles. This is from Robert. Next one we got from Kelly. Just drop them in there, and as I'm going through and kind of picking through stuff, something catches my eye, I'll put it on the show and we'll talk about it. But as you know, this show is live. If you want to be part of it, 702-957-1037 troubledminds.org. Click the Discord link and come say hi. All right, so let's go. Let's keep on trucking with this, and this is the final one of the day. And don't worry, we'll be back shortly with some other good stuff in a few hours from now. So we got Troubled Minds coming up as well tonight. So here we go. Futurism.com. They turned a brick into a battery. Yep, that's what it says. They turned a brick into a battery. This was shared by Kelly today in the Discord. From the Department of they did surgery on a grape. What? A team of researchers at Washington University in St. Louis have figured out a way to turn regular old bricks into batteries. They did it by filling the pores of the brick with tiny conducting nanofibers of plastic that can store a charge. In early tests, the bricks were capable of powering a small LED light. While the energy density is still incredibly low, that's mostly due to the fact that bricks are supercapacitors, not chemical reaction-based batteries. The research could point towards a future where energy could be stored in the literal walls of a house. All right, cool. Now you know what kind of pisses me off about stuff like this is they're like, well, this comes out, and they're like, oh, look, we have, this is a Wright brothers moment, like the last article type of thing. And then they're like, oh, so one day it could lead to this, but in many cases, it's not even freaking close. It's not like, they barely made it happen, and they got a little LED light, and that's it, right? Like when can you put bricks in to power the cars, right? Or, collect energy from your solar panels or things like this. Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea. A solar cell on the roof of your house has to store electricity somewhere, and typically we use batteries. Julio D'Arcy at University of Washington and co-author of the study published in the journal Nature Communications told The Guardian, quote, what we have done is provide a new food for thought option, but we're not there yet. Exactly. We're not there yet. It seems like so many things. We're close, but we're not there yet. Yeah. As of right now, compared to a lithium-ion battery, the power brick only has one perfect the energy density. Wait, what? Is that correct? The power brick only has one perfect the energy density. I don't think that's correct. The researchers are hoping to increase this tenfold by using metal oxides. All right, cool, fine. Now, fine and well. Let's hope we get actual power bricks coming to a electric car near you. Where's our flying cars, damn it? I want to know where our flying cars are. That's what I want to know. But okay, so I don't know. As we finish right now, we're done. But the good news is, God willing, we'll have Troubled Minds in 3 hours from now. So what do you guys think? You want to hear about crop circles tonight, or you want to hear about dreams? I think those are a couple good options, and I'm running out of time. I got to decide. What do you think? I'll take a sip of coffee and see what we got in the chat. What do you want to talk about tonight? Whatever we don't talk about tonight, we'll probably talk about tomorrow night, unless I change my mind. Both. Robert wants them both. Give it to us. We want it all. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I think both are equally fantastic. So let's see. Eli says crop circles. Night Stalker crop circles. All right, it is crop circle season, and it is in Britain, and like I said, we do have some inside knowledge of that because, well, I have a source. I know a guy, so there's that. Both. We're going to do both. All right, we're going to do both. Like I said, whatever we do, what we can't get to tonight, we'll just get to tomorrow. There you go. Night Stalker, anybody ever fall asleep in a crop circle? Not I. I've never seen one personally. I only see the media footage, which, interesting. Let's see. Okay. All right. So, cool. So there you go. Tentatively, we have 4 shows this week. So let's say a couple of them are probably going to be about dreams and crop circles. That'll be probably 2 different shows. And then we got 2 more to fill. So there you go. That's how this works because, well, that's the way it works. And yes, please, if you have not, go check out that show. I'm going to leave it up for another couple days on Rockfin. There's a show on there talking about silver weapons and silver and how it's supposed to combat evil. And you may be surprised some of the stuff that came out of that. Great calls from a lot of folks who are in the chat right now. And we had a good conversation last night. So if you haven't checked it out, go make an account on Rockfin, pretty please, and just search for Troubled Minds. There's only one Troubled Minds on there, and we'll continue trying to get the audience over there because that's the place we want them to be. 1, more profitable in the end, and then 2, less censorship. Like I said, there's the term of service is basically like no racist shit, no Nazi shit. That's it. You can kind of talk about, it's free. So Eli, you don't have to pay for anything. It is free. If you want premium content on there, you do have to pay. It's $10 a month. So, but you can watch for free. So what I'm not exactly sure. Here's the problem. Here's what I'm thinking. So when we do the radio shows, we have like those weird, commercial breaks where, in between I'm kind of just kicking it, talking to the audience. I'll step away, grab a beer, stuff like that. But then those get recorded, and I'm not super pleased about that because it's more like a casual in between thing. So I like to have 2 versions of it, one with that stuff available, and then one where all that stuff is trimmed out, and it sounds like more like an exact radio show with the bumper music in and out, just more tight and more pro sounding. So if we live stream on Rockfin, it's going to have those in betweens baked in, and I kind of don't want that because it's it just less professional, right? Less of a professional presentation overall. So it's a nice way to include the chat into the show without kind of derailing the show. So that's what I like about it. But I don't like that part being baked in because you can't edit them once they go up on Rockfin. So I'm not sure. So I'm thinking maybe stream on YouTube, edit them up, and then put the edited version on Rockfin the next day type of thing. I don't know. Like I said, there's still some logistical things to work out. I just don't like having like a kind of a crappy, half-ass version up there. And you know what I mean. You guys know what I mean. I'm not saying that it is because we're talking to the chat in between. It's good. Like I said, I think it's a good way to kind of not do the shout outs like we used to for like 20 minutes before we started. That was not ideal at all. But it does make the overall presentation at the end less good, right? People are likely to tune out if they're not part of a live chat that was yesterday. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I haven't exactly decided. Like I said, there's a lot of moving parts here, so bear with me as I figure out all the details. But that's what's on my mind. That's what I'm thinking about. And there you go. 3 hours nonstop with no commercial is too much and too tiring, Michael. Yes, it is. That's how we used to do it, though. so that's actually again, I'll call myself decent at this, not amazing, but that's how I got decent at this. Is we'd go 3 hours with no commercials. It's hard. It's not an easy thing to do, but that's how I was able to now do this, right, for like an hour easy, or even with commercial breaks, it's so easy because I'm used to going 3 hours with no breaks. So it does make you cranky. Like I said, in the old days, I don't know how I did it. Like we were younger and dumber then, but it is a long haul. So anyway, I'm still trying to work out the details, but if you guys can, please, at the very least, go make an account on Rockfin. It's ROKFIN. and follow the channel. So that stuff does matter because it's not quite YouTube. There's not billions of users over there. So if you do make an account and you follow the channel, they'll start to see that, okay, people are enjoying this content and they want to come check it out. So there we go. Let's see. Clint, what's up? Robert says, maybe you should simulcast the first 2 hours of Troubled Minds, do the extra hour on Rockfin. That's a good idea too. That's actually a good idea to kind of maybe move the audience over there. So I'm not sure. So there are logistical issues with that because I have to shut down the stream and then I have to restart it with Rockfin instead of YouTube, or I don't know. So anyway, point being is that there's some like pain in the ass issues that we have to work through, but we're going to get it. We'll figure something out here, and I appreciate that. Appreciate Robert's been emailing me tips as well, so thank you for that. Night Stalker says, does Rockfin pull you for copywritten songs and movies? I don't think it does, but eventually, right when it becomes big enough, they eventually will. Because I mean, you just can't rip off a Madonna song and put it in your stream. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of not okay. So I don't do that anyway. Like all the bumper music is like it's all either ours specifically composed by us or friends, or stuff that's like commercial royalty free stuff. So it's not. So we don't do that anyway. But I think at some point, if people abuse it, it'll eventually start to happen. So yeah. Anyway, quick scene from a movie to give yourself a break. Yeah, I mean, we could do stuff like that for sure. Kind of like those, or maybe like if I had more time, honestly, if like this was like actually paying the bills, I would do like Clyde Lewis type montages, right? Like audio montages to kind of, like a couple 3 minutes in between to maybe give myself a breather, go grab a beer and play something pretty sweet, kind of in between. I really love how Clyde does the montages there. So I don't know. We'll see. I like I said, bear with me as we figure this out. We are in a transition period here with Troubled Minds because I don't know what's next. Like I said, ideally, I'd like to do only 3 platforms if possible because, well, they're monetized. And, like I said, doing it 3 years without a monetization option it's brutal. It's a brutal beat, right? So like no chance of making money, and you're grinding 3 or 4 times a week for hours at a time. It's tough. So I don't know. Like I said, there's got to be a balance, like I was describing last night. Of I don't want to put ads in your face like crazy, and I also don't want to just do work for free forever because that's the easiest way to make me rage quit. And yeah, there you go. So those montages take so much work. Yeah, they do. It's a lot of work. I agree. So I don't know. We'll see. But we have talented people that could help, right? And that's what I'm saying. So if it gets to that point, I know Rohan, he's made some montages for me, which actually I'm going to add to the bit just now when we go offline here. So that's what I mean. So we have a good community that can do some of this stuff and help. I just got to get all of the ducks in a row and put everything perfectly right so that everything's as streamlined as possible and we can continue making this a thing. Because I think we got a thing here. I think we have a good thing here, guys. There's a good thing. There's a lot of conversations that don't get started that if I'm not here talking about it, people aren't talking about it, right? I mean, you can turn on Jimmy Church or even Clyde Lewis. I love Clyde Lewis to death, but some of the conversations they're just not in our league, and I hate to say that because he's a hero of mine, but we're ahead of the game. We're ahead of the game on a lot of things, so it's good. It's a good thing. More of like a philosophy type of conversation that instead of a narrative type conversation. It's a good thing. It's what, like I said, makes my brain tickle, and that's a good thing. So anyway, as we finish this up, let's do this. Let's play the outro and say thank you to the folks who have subbed up and supported the channel. I don't know if there's a possible way to check the Rockfin subs, because this is the crazy part. If you sub up to Rockfin, like I said, it's $10 a month, but you get not just my premium content, everybody on the whole platform, which I've said before. So I'm not sure there's a way to directly say this person subbed up. I don't know. I don't think I have a list like that. So if you have, let me know, and we will continue with just let me know you subbed up, and then I'll put you on the list and then read you out when we do this. So here we go. Let's play the outro, and don't worry, we're done for now, but we'll be back at 7 p.m. to talk about, well, I don't know, let's say maybe crop circles. I think that sounds legitimate. Okay, so that's what's up. Thank you to the folks who have subbed up to the channel and supported us. I appreciate it very much. This is the list. The folks on Twitch. If I missed anybody, just let me know and I'll add you. If I mispronounced your name, let me know. I'll swap it and change it and do my best. Thank you to AJ Dare. Without Without him, this show doesn't exist. AJ Dare has been very kind, helping with this show in a number of ways. So shout out to my good friend AJ Dare, who's been nothing but supportive of kind of the shadow official Troubled Minds partner that has been like I said, accommodating and very helpful with the entire production of the show. So thank you to my friend AJ. Alien Nichan, Bailey, Gibby 2188, 888, Dark Devious, 40s AM, Ident, J Up, Jay from New York, Large Marge, Noble Kal-El, Not the Golf Channel, Quint67, Rohan, Stinky Carnival, Super Vike 1, Satan Claus, Patreon supporters, Alien Nichan, Axel Steele, Cole, Dark Devious, Dwayne Dibley, Salcedo, Paranormal, J Up, Johnson, Matsal, and Penny. Like I said, if you guys are subbing up to Patreon, if you can switch over to Rockfin, and as soon as we get people off Patreon, I'll cancel that, and there you go. So all right, as we finish up, like I said, the bad news is we're done. The good news is we'll be back in 2.5 or 3-ish hours to do more Troubled Minds. And tonight, since you're here, you get the sneak peek of crop circles is what's on my mind. Thanks a lot, guys, for hanging out with us. As always, it's a pleasure, and we'll see you tonight. Have a fantastic rest of your Monday afternoon.